Hello everyone. Today we'll be learning about a prototyping tool called Proto.io. Prototypes play a very important role in the design process. Prototyping is basically building simplified versions of the system before you actually get to making them. It's a good way to get feedback on your design and fix problems before a line of code is written. It saves a lot of time and money. So today I'll show you how to build a basic prototype for the system that you want to design. So you go to the website. If you don't have an account already, so start your free trial. That's where you can go, and you need to enter some basic details, and you will be able to sign up for the website. And you get a free trial for 15 days, which you could use for now. So I already have an account set up, so I'll just sign in. You guys need to enter all these details and then go ahead with it. So I already have a sample here which we would be building today. So this is basically a food ordering app, and as you know, a login screen is fundamental to almost all systems that we design these days. So I'll show you how to make a login screen, and then basically a welcome page, and where you could see different options. So let me familiarize you with different components of the system. So here you could view different screens, and if you intend, so this is my screen 1 and this is screen 2. So, and if you want to add a new screen, you need to click here, and a new screen would be added, which would be an empty canvas where you could add things from the library. So you have a lot of UI components here, which is a text box. If you want to add a text box, you can use this rectangle, oval, whatever shapes you want to make. So these are the things. Then this also has a very good support of the material design library as well as iOS and Windows 8 design components which are there. So for now, we would be making a prototype for an Android phone. So I've chosen material design, which is the latest design specification, which is given by Google for now. So these are different components that you have here, which you can see in a phone, like the home icon, then different lists which are there. So have a look at all these options that you have before you make the prototype, so that you are aware what all options are there and what you can add in your prototype. Password fields are there. So this is similar to what I had on my login screen. So now you know about different components which are there. After this, you have access to a lot of icons, and this has a very good search functionality. Say this is a food ordering app, so I can search for food over here, and I will be shown different food options which I could use. So I just need to drag and drop here and add it to the prototype, and I could resize it as per my needs. So yeah, once you get the hang of it, this is a very nice prototyping tool, and it's super easy to use. Okay, then about assets. So this is the asset panel that you have. You can add pictures or other resources, whatever you might have. Like this is the logo for the system. So I had it made, and then I just simply dragged and dropped it here to have it. So I'll just show you how to drag it when I show you the tutorial. So let's start a new project. So this is how you need to go ahead when you create a new prototype. So give it a name, and so you have an array of devices that you can choose for the for the prototype. Sorry. So for now, we will be developing for a smartphone, and then you could choose different models from here. So since it's an Android, so I would like to go with Pixel to Excel for now. And you just need to create. Okay. So this is an empty canvas that I have right now, and you could so this is the screen. So I want to, if you want to edit the background of the screen, this is what you do. You select the screen, you go here to the properties section, and then you click on background. So here also you have a choice of colors that you would like for this. So I am taking the material design, and it's food related, so I'm trying to keep it close to orange. Yeah. So here you could choose the opacity of the color, and from here you could choose the color. So this is like a basic color palette that you have. Okay, so now once I'm done with this, I would go to the library and yeah, material components. So in Android phones, you see there is a notification tab on the top, and then there's a navigation bar, the status bar, and the navigation bar. So you just need to drag and drop the components here. So yeah, this, and then I would like to get the navigation bar as well. Okay, so you are done with this. Next, I will show you. Okay. So next up we had the logo here. So I will tell you how to import different resources that you need to put here. So you need to have the resources in a folder or wherever in your computer, and you just need to drag it from here and then drop it here to the project assets. So it's getting uploaded, and from here again you need to drag and drop. Okay, so once it's here, I can easily resize it by pulling it from here. And I can also align it. So here you have different aligning options. So right now I want to align it horizontally. Yeah. So now it's roughly to the center of the screen. So here, as you can see, I have another UI component here, which is a slight background, slightly different shade of orange underneath this, just to enhance the visibility of the logo. It's just a design choice that I made. So how I did that was go to libraries, basic. So I just pull out a rectangle from here, resize it, and then I'll click on it. So this component is selected. Then I'll go to the background section and I slightly reduce the opacity so that it serves the purpose of a banner, and then I can put it here. Okay, and then I'll align it horizontally. Okay, so now you can see that this component that I got is behind the screen, but I want it in the front. So I can easily select it, do a right click to arrange and bring to front. Yeah, so now it is visible over here. So there's another important component of the UI system, which is layers. So all the components that you'll add here, they will show up here as layers. So this logo is here, this rectangle is also shown as a layer, and when you click on each of them, you would be able to access their properties towards the right side, and you would be able to change different things. You can change the aspect ratio, you could change the color scheme, and all these things. Okay, so now I have it here. Next up, I'll show you how to get an icon from this place. So I'll just search for food. From here, I'll pick up a lemon slice. Okay, I want this to look even bigger, so you can easily just drag and drop and adjust it. So I'll place it here. Okay, so next up I'll show you how to do state transitions and get some animation in your system. So I'll create a new state screen which would simply duplicate the first state that I had, and in order to create an animation I need to go to the second state, and I'll just increase the size of this lemon a bit. And when I'll do a transition from this to that page, so the size, the increased size would be able to, you'll be able to see. Okay, so next I'll tell you how to, so we are done with these parts. Yeah, next I'll show you how to add a text component. Again, you need to simply drag and drop it here, and you can type anything. And then again, you can position it wherever you want. So this is basically how UI components are made. Then I'll simply add. Then you know that text boxes are very crucial in the sign-in process. So I'll add a text box here. Apart from these text boxes, in the material design library section, you have these options. You have these components already made. So you could easily use those. Like we'll use this text field floating label, and then again we'll align it horizontally. So then you select it and you could choose properties for it, like whatever you want. So I want to edit the label text for now. So I want to write here enter email. Okay. And after once I'm done with this field, I'll add the password field. And again, I'll align it horizontally and make it in sync with the enter email alignment. So once you have the placeholder here, again you can edit properties for it, like whatever color scheme you're following for your app. I'll just make these black for now. Okay. And again the text can be changed here. And you could change the color as well. And even since this is black, I want to make the color of this line black. Yeah, so this is from where you could do it. So you have a lot of flexibility in proto.io to make things look whatever way you want them to. So next crucial part of a login screen is the login button. So there's another very good search functionality which we have in this tool. So which is search. You could either click here and get this, or you could press Control F or Command F for Mac users, and you would be able to search for different components here. So next I want a button, so which is raised button in the material design. So I'll just get it here and again horizontally align it. Then I want to change the background of the button, so I can do it from here. Choose whatever color you want, and from here you can change the text color for it. Let's make it black for now. Okay. And to in order to change the text here, you need to double click, and the text will be selected, and then you can re-enter whatever you want. Let's just say login. Okay, so we are done with the UI component of this. Next, okay, so next I had to show you how the animation feature of this would work if you want to show a slight transition from one thing to another. So in this state, I'll reduce the size of this lemon a bit. Okay, so whenever you click any component, this icon shows up, which is like a lightning symbol. Click on that and just drag and drop to the next state. So once I did new create new state screen state over here, so an exact replica of the state was created, and so I can simply point it from there to here, and this is how the animation looks. So as you can see in this, we have a small lemon bar and then it grows. So you have different triggers which would trigger this animation. So I'll tell you about them as well. So now what we'll do is we'll create another screen which would serve the purpose of the welcome screen that I showed you. So we are done with this portion. Now I'll tell you how to move ahead to the next screen and then have interactions so that you could move through different screens. Okay. So come here. So here once you hover over this portion, you would be shown different options. Duplicate the screen, delete the screen, or select screen to view and edit interactions. So for now, since I have the color scheme fixed over here, so I'll just duplicate my screen and make changes on this. So I have different components on the screen. This is a carousel where different images would be shown. Like it's the trending now screen. Then other option. There's this place for other options. So I'll just extend this view a bit so that different images can fit in. Okay. Then again, I need to import some resources for this page. So I'll go here and I'll select whatever images I need. Simply drag and drop them over here. Yeah. So I have all of them over here. Okay. So pick an image and just drop it here. So align it in whatever way you want. Okay. So basically how a carousel works is you have images here and then you have left and right buttons. So I'll show you how on clicking those buttons and using state transitions you can have different images. So I'll go to icons and then I'll search for the arrows. So I'll search for the left arrow. Yeah, this is what I want for this. So I just drag it and drop it over here and align it. And then I want an arrow for the right side. And this is the one. So I'll just drag and drop it here. Okay. Then so what I want is once I click on these buttons, next image is shown. Okay, so also we had another component here called list. So that's what we are going to add next now. We would go to material and we would take a list with an avatar. So again we have the list and we can customize it whatever way you want. So there is also an option to have a scrollable panel and then you scroll through different lists in it. So that is also there in proto.io. So that your interface, whatever prototype you have, is scrollable enough. Okay. And before this, I want to add text. And I'll type all items. So even when you put this text, you have the option to change this font size as well as the font. So I'll choose this one for now. Okay. And so I want to add some more items to the list. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then snacks. This is what I want for now. Click on this icon. Okay. So I want to change this image over here. So this is the thumbnail option from where you can change the images of different icons that you have here. So I'll go to project assets. And these are all the images that I had uploaded. So if you want some to pick something from here, you could take that. Otherwise, go to the proto.io gallery. Android. Okay, we'll go to generic options and we'll choose food and drink. So we'll take one for breakfast. Generic icons. And you can see here that you have a lot of variety. You can choose whatever you want. And you can go to food and drinks. Then I'll take something. Similarly, for the other two, I can edit it in the same way. And this text is also editable. So I just need to go here and edit the label. Just select it and then you can type here breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. So now you are well equipped in making these screens. Okay, yeah. So I'll show you how the carousel can be moved around to have different images over here. So I've created another state of this screen, and I'll simply go here, remove this image, and I'll put another image over here. Okay, so next what we'll have is interactions. So what I want is when I click on this icon, I go to the next state where we have the image of the jalebi, and when I click on this one, I go back to this state. So similarly, we'll have different states, and upon clicking on these, we'll go to the next picture. So I'll show you how to do that. Come to the first state, click on this button, and here you'll have the add interaction icon again. You just need to click on it. This arrow will appear which you need to drag and then drop to the next state, and it would ask how if you want to create a transition between states. So simply click on create. Once the transition is created, you can go and edit it, like, and you have a lot of options here. What could trigger this transition? Like for now, we'll take tap. Otherwise, there are different gestures which are there on Android or any operating system that you want. Swipe left, swipe right, or mouse over. So for now, we're choosing tap, and then on tap of this button, the screen would go from this state to this state. Okay. So this is how you create state transitions. And then similarly, in the example that I had shown you, I had four such screens where I had replaced this with different images. Okay, I'll show you again how to do it. Like when I click on this, I get this icon. I want to go back to the state. Create transition, and yeah, you have it. And for similarly for this one, I click on this and go back to the first state. So you have successfully created state transitions for this interface. Okay, now there's another major component which is missing from this design, which is going from this login screen to the second screen. And how would you do that? Okay, so go to screen one, screen states, and be very careful to choose the correct screen state from which you want to trigger the transition. Otherwise, it's always advisable to have it on all the states so that it's uniform across your design. So I'll click on login, and again I have this icon, and I just need to pull this arrow and put it to screen 2. And we have this interaction created. So once I click on the login button, I'll go to the second screen. So once I'm done, I'll save the project and I'll click on the preview button, where you would be able to see the prototypes that you just created along with the interactions. So you can enter your email ID or password here. Click on login. So this is the carousel that we created. This is how the prototype looks. So a lot of components were added similarly, so in a similar way that I showed you. So I'll show you in this preview. Proto.io also has a very good support to share your work. So, so here you can simply click on the share option here and then give the link to whoever you want. Apart from that, Proto.io has as an app. It's on the Play Store as well as the iOS Store, Apple Store. So you simply need to download the app. You need to log in with the ID and password with which you logged in onto the laptop, and then you would be able to see different projects of yours in that. You simply need to download the project and you would be able to use your prototypes as a real app. So just click on login. So I'd added another interaction where this lemon grew in size. Once I click on login, I go to the welcome screen where I see this trending now. I click on these buttons, so I'm taken to the new options. So another thing that I want to teach is how I created the animation from the small lemon to the big lemon. So we had created the states, but we did not create the transition for it. So go to libraries. There's a thing called an interaction area. Like if you want to have options like swipe up, swipe down, or simply a click anywhere, which would trigger any event. So I'll simply create an interaction area here. So what I want is whenever anyone taps on the screen, this lemon would grow and it would appear as an animation. So I'll select this interaction area and then I would simply drag and drop it to the second state. So make sure that you are on the first state and from there you drag and drop to the second state so that state transition is there. So I'll from this interaction area, I'm going to this state. If you want to change how this interaction is triggered, you can again go here, click on the pencil, and you can edit the trigger option, which is tap, touch, release, or whatever you want. I'll just keep it tap for now. Okay, so let's save it. So make sure to save your work before previewing it. A lot of times what people do is they just click on preview and then they think the changes have not been reflected. So take care of that. See, so when I tap here, this lemon grows and it shows as an animation. So yeah, the details are already here. Log in, you go to the screen, click on these icons. Okay, so this is how you can build prototypes for your app. So this is how you could this is how you make a high fidelity prototype. Apart from this, what you can do is if you have low fidelity paper prototypes of your app, you can simply export them onto this and you can pull them and keep them make them as pictures and add different interaction areas like I just showed you from here. I'll show you an example. So this is how one of the apps were made. Okay, so I have existing, if you already have existing paper prototypes, take images of them and have them on your computer and then again just drag and drop them into the assets. Once it's uploaded, take it to your screen. For now, I'm showing it to you on the same project that I had, but this would be on a different thing. So you can adjust the size of the canvas according to your paper prototype. Add a new screen, and I'll get another screen from here. I'll just drag it. And drop it into the library section. So now I have the second screen over here. Okay, so you can adjust the size of the canvas so that it fits whatever paper prototype you have. I'll just show you how to add an interaction area and navigate from one option to another. So what I want is when I click on this menu, I should be able to see some options. So I'll go to the screen, libraries, and pick an interaction area. I'll put it over this, and then I'll again take this arrow and just drop it to the screen, whatever I want. So yeah, this animation has also been created. So these were the basics of proto.io. You can explore different options and see how which components you want in your prototype, what colors you want, and yeah, you would be ready to go.